Hello, dear friends. Here I am again. It's Raphael Kasischke from Germany. Welcome to our third podcast, which is called Cause and Effect, or the Law of Resonance. I hope you had nice days and you had some thoughts on my last podcast with the topic making money, that money counts more than human beings or the people. In this podcast today, we are learning about the relationship between money and the family and the consequences. Okay, the first podcast we learned about money and health, and the last one, the second, about money and human, and now it is about the family and the consequences. That means that my belief is that there are energies from generations before, which brings to every next generation in a family some challenges. If these are financial challenges or health challenges or relationship challenges. So there are many challenges in the world, as you know, and we are here to learn, to experience whatever, to leave this world with a lot of interesting, positive, but also negative experiences. I can tell you about it, not today, but I made many of these experiences. Yeah, very interesting. So today I would like to tell you a story. Once upon a time, there was an entrepreneur who, like every human being, had his ups and downs in life and in business. Before he became a successful entrepreneur, he had good intentions to do something good for people, for his customers, his employees, his suppliers, his business partners, and for sure for the family, his family. In the course of the time and with increasing success, he changed his character and behaviors and changed his original noble intentions into greed for more money, more recognition, more ego, more power, and also more arrogance. He felt on the top. He had a life like God and friends, as we say in Germany. Then came a time of decline in his company, caused on one hand by his own speculations and on the other hand by a recession of the economy. But he was able to turn this around, and his business grew once again. This renewed success of the company was caused by a further change of his behavior. Now, his original good, that means ethical and moral values, became unethical and partly illegal activities. The focus was placed away from previous human-oriented values to purely material values. We know this change of attitude from many company histories. In the beginning, the founder had mostly noble intentions, but then some of them sold their soul and made a deal. With whom? Yeah, sure. You're right. With the devil. Like in the play of Goethe's Faust, and the pact with Mephisto. In any case, many of the founder's successors slipped into a greedy and crooked path. The Volkswagen Diesel case sent it regards. Okay? Back to our entrepreneur. He now runs his companies the way the outside world demands. That means more and more growth, higher and higher profits, higher and higher share prices. The worldwide economic boom supports him in his game. But then suddenly a competitor appears out of the nowhere and disputes his production figures and success. It comes to sleepless nights, lawyers are called in, detectives are assigned to inspect the competing company. And so far, happy life of the businessman lost ground. And on top of it, Corona appears. Gross profits and share prices collapse with the entrepreneur. Because his inner, so far very strong stability is weakening. Okay? What is the lesson here? It is not about getting the company back on track, but to ask oneself what the deeper meaning of this whole situation is and what is to be learned. It is about something very deep. First of all, it is about the business owner having to look at how he changed during his business life and to realize that he had left his original noble intentions for the desires of more and higher and higher. To achieve this, he had committed unethical acts that were not to the benefit of his customers and employees. Afterwards, the question is whether these harmful business practices possibly results from the ancestors, meaning that these business practices were already in his family, as I mentioned in the beginning, okay? And thirdly, it is about transforming these harmful behaviors into positive actions, because that is what our present time is for. So a big task had begun for the business owner, which turns his previous life upside down. If he takes his inner step of major transformation and has the power to do so, he can start and build up a new company again. Or he gives part of his wealth to a foundation, which in turn supports young people in their ideas and business projects, just as the entrepreneur himself set out 50 years ago to bring something good into the world with his business idea. So, it is about a shift within oneself from being a greedy, money-focused person to become a person oriented to the common good and the inner values. And when this shift has happened, then this new person will start all over again, build up a new company, be successful, and make himself and his environment, his family, and other people happy. Let me tell you about the 4 children of this business owner, because everything is connected, as you know. The 4 children had also become independent. One of the children was a medical doctor. He had a successful medical practice. Among his patients were well-known and wealthy people. The doctor was not so focused on money, but on recognition and prestige. So he was dining with friends in the best and most famous restaurant and generated high bills, which he paid as a patron and in order to achieve prestige. Over the years, high private debts were accumulated because, on one hand, he had a very high standard of living, and on the other hand, he forgot sometimes to bill his private patients. And besides the restaurant visits, there were many other pleasures, all of which cost money, and this the doctor didn't have. So it happened that he had to get money from somewhere. Like his father, he also slipped into the unethical side of life. In the end, his behavior and his handling of money cost him his life. Yeah, very sad, very, very sad. The daughter of the entrepreneur had married into a wealthy family. When the divorce came, she was settled with a small fortune. But over the years, this also flowed away. The other 2 children also experienced situations in which their finances went firstly up and then downhill. What do I want to say with these stories? And what connects these stories? If we don't handle money well and mishandle it, then this abuse comes back to us. This is cause and effect or the law of resonance. We should learn from these incidents, and we should look if the cause lies in our family. Because since the father already had the experience of the decline of his company, it is very possible that the reason for the monetary decline and the financial challenges is to be found in the ancestry. Or it can be explained by the fact that neither the father nor the children have dealt with money in a good and appreciative manner. But probably the origin is deeper in the family, as I mentioned before. Because for centuries, money was not acquired with noble intentions. People exploitatively actions, greed for money, greed for power, ego drive, robbery, and many other negative reasons were the cause. The effect can appear generations later. These energies must be healed. And furthermore, we have to rethink and look at money differently, and thus deal with it differently. And not only with money, but with everything, with people, animals, the nature, the whole earth. And this is a deeper reason for Corona. A change of thinking is required. So Corona is here to put an end to our previous money-driven activities. When we have learned that health and our inner values are more important, and we change our attitude towards money and deal with it differently and use it in something good, then money automatically comes back to us. You don't think so? I tell you another story. A good friend of mine advises wealthy people who suddenly faces monetary challenges. His experience has shown that as soon as his clients invest their money in the service of the common good, money and profit comes back. And this money remains and does not disappear again. The common good does not mean that money must to be given away or has to be donated. It means, for example, to grant loans to young people so that they can set up a new business that does not have ego and money greedy intentions, but is in the service of the common good and yet makes profits. And that is the purpose of our foundation in Switzerland, providing loans to the young generation in order to finance their new ideas and inventions, and thus building a new economy. We focus on the young generation. They bring forth new things for the benefit of our world. these people receive loans from the foundation. This enables them to put the potential and talents they have brought with them by birth into practice, and to carry out their life plan and bring something good to the world. After the first step of lending money, the second step is to invest money into the earth through the new thinking people. In agriculture, in water, drinking water, new types of houses, new schools, new universities, health houses, as well as in new technology, etc. It is about allocating money in the new systems, new business ideas, new forms of energy, new procedures, etc. And it is about the benefit of all and not just of some few. The foundation serves the good of all. And we at the foundations are servants. And in that sense, we also serve the money. We give money our appreciation that we have not shown to the money up to date. Let me finish with the answer of a German fellow to the question of Corona. He said, "Big challenges tend to make us stronger. Depth, character, and personality come from what does not go well. At the moment, many things are not going well. We know from happiness research that we do most for our own happiness when we primarily care about the happiness of others. And that is what it's all about. To help other people to experience happiness for themselves, thus for ourselves. So, my friends, in the English-speaking countries of this world, I wish you a very nice time, a very nice day, happiness and health. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching YouTube. And I see you in the next days, where in the fourth podcast, we hear the story of a boy, how he thinks and deals with money in a new way. Okay, all the best for you. Have a happy day, and for sure, health, a lot of health. Thank you. Bye-bye.